Welcome back. Some of you might be thinking, Mark, you need a haircut. Your hair's too dang long. And to that I say, yes, I do. And I'll be getting one soon. But you won't be seeing me next week because next week is Thanksgiving for my American folks. So enjoy Thanksgiving. And sorry for those of you who won't be able to see it. But either way, hopefully you enjoy some time off. Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming for the third week of November 2022. And let's dive right into it. For our first top 3 story, Juked have unfortunately ceased operations. I've been following this story for quite a while, and it's an unfortunate end to what could have been a really great outcome for Juked. Long story short, if you don't know what Juked is or what happened, Juked essentially is an esports community platform app that really was bringing a lot of folks together in the esports community to discuss esports, whether it was a specific esport like Valorant or Rocket League, or whether you just want to talk esports in general or the business side of it. So it's a great community building app, as well as having services to, have live streams, games and stats and things like that all in one place. Unfortunately, 𝗠𝗿𝗶, who is the CEO, announced a little bit earlier in this year that they were running out of money and that they needed to find essentially an acquirer even after their fundraising rounds and crowdfunding rounds as well. They did have some good progress there, that they had 3 potential acquirers that might have gone through, but unfortunately, after all was said and done, their acquisition partner fell through since the unnamed company in the Web3 space backed out of the deal after just the FTX situation. So I think one, that speaks to the volatility of crypto and Web3. Maybe less Web3, but crypto in general has been going through a lot lately. And so it's been tough for a lot of esports and gaming folks who have been involved in that space to follow that. But regardless, I just want to say, I want to highlight Juked as well as Ben and the team at Juked for doing great work to the esports community. I don't think I've seen such positive reception for some esports stuff lately. So I really want to highlight that. They did a great job building community and they really emphasized that. And I'm just hoping that their team can land on their feet and continue to make a positive impact on the esports industry. Blizzard and NetEase have ended a 14-year partnership. Buckle up, this is a big one. At a high level, Blizzard will be suspending their biggest titles in China from January 23rd, given NetEase and Blizzard failed to negotiate a renewal after a 14-year partnership. Blizzard is now seeking alternative partners, and NetEase claims that there's no impact on their financials as a result of this partnership not renewing. For reference, this means that Diablo 3, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, StarCraft, Warcraft 3, and World of Warcraft will not be available in China starting January 23rd. And this is also interesting because NetEase have been handling publishing duties for so many years in China now. This also means that Blizzard will have to go through an entirely other process to get their games approved and published in China due to how strenuous the Chinese government has been with issuing licenses for games. Regardless, this is still impactful for Activision Blizzard. According to Nico partners Daniel Ahmad, China is Activision Blizzard's #1 market by revenue, so that could be a huge hit here. And NetEase also claims that Blizzard's games were only low single digits as a percentage of their total revenue net income last year, which honestly, I wouldn't doubt that. That being said, NetEase shares fell about 11% after this news drop, so investors, they beg to differ. And still, it seems that NetEase has, a lot less to lose here by not publishing Blizzard's games and will allocate those resources elsewhere. I'm curious to see how Blizzard will respond to this and how their quarterly financials will be impacted. The German Games Fund have increased to $73 million. Originally, the Games Fund was revealed in 2020, and it was for the government to support up to 50% of developer costs. And I realized that my thumbnail might have been a little bit clickbait. That's an esports tournament, but this is mainly focusing on game devs. But regardless, large crowds look cooler than office buildings, okay? So forgive me there. Either way, gaming companies have increased by 26%, and employment has increased in gaming by 12% in Germany. And this bump also signifies a $21 million increase for 2023, which is awesome to see. The German Games Industry Association predicts that the initiative will need to provide $104 million in the future. So my thoughts here, although it's not like the same level of investment as Saudi Arabia, this is still a big leap forward for Germany in the gaming space. Germany has always been doing well in esports as far as hosting tournaments and having world-class esports teams, but it's also cool to see more German studios as well producing world-class games. Also, simply the fact that there's acknowledgement and support for gaming from the government is cool. From an American perspective, we really don't get this from the federal government, at least. Maybe some state governments are doing that, but not on the federal level. And the question now to be asked is, can the industry sustain itself without government support, and how will the government influence these games if they're providing funds for them? Questions that may be answered in due time, so stay tuned. As far as partnerships go, Beast Coast will be partnering with Dulcedo Management. This means that Dulcedo will be representing Beast Coast to secure new business opportunities on an international level for their esports titles. Sport5 partnered with Pain Gaming. Similar to the previous partnership, Sport5 will help the Brazilian organization as their exclusive sales representation to get them more sponsorships across Pain Gaming's esports and gaming assets. Astral has partnered with Shakenso Analytics. Astral will use Shakenso's AI-powered data solutions to understand the value of their partnerships, and Shakenso has also partnered with folks like Correct Global, Big, and others as well, so it's a good continuation of their sales efforts in esports. Team Vitality expanded their partnership with Tezos. The new app called 𝗠𝗿 will be an expansion of their current partnership, and this app will essentially be a support to earn app where fans can get unique rewards like special merch, access to events, and interaction with Vitality players for doing certain actions. Challenger Mode partnered with Tencent. This means that the esports platform will help Tencent run its esports tournaments for PUBG Mobile, and this means that PUBG Mobile players will have an easier time playing esports matches through the Challenger Mode app. They will also launch a PUBG Mobile esports fund, which is meant to distribute money to tournament organizers. For finance and M&A, Estrategy Entertainment have raised a $4 million seed round. This was led by Gem Capital as well as the Games Fund, with the founders being from companies like Wargaming. Their first game will be a AAA narrative-driven FPS for PC and console. Methodical Games have raised $15 million, and the new studio is formed by folks from Epic Games, Respawn, and Infinity Ward. The round was led by Lightspeed Ventures with participation from Bitcraft Ventures, 1UP Ventures, and Jason West, who founded Respawn and Infinity Ward. They'll be working on a multiplayer action-adventure game with emphasis on close-quarters combat in a fantasy world. Behold Ventures have raised $25.9 million. This means that they will be the largest VC fund in Sweden, and they'll be focusing on Nordic gaming startups. They've already invested in 12 studios, including Firestroke and Aurora Punks. Michael Grzesiak, also known as Shroud, just became a co-owner of Main Gear. With this, the PC company also got a new logo as well as a new pre-built gaming rig and configurator. Apparently, this was spawned from Shroud wanting a new computer, and this also means that he's on the chair of their gaming advisory board. Esports Coaching Academy have raised $750,000. The round was led by Behold Ventures with participation from Management Ventures and Sisu Game Ventures. They also plan to use this to improve its esports coaching platform, focus on youth players, and to expand to new markets as well. Noodlecat have raised $4.1 million in their seed round. With this, they also launched a studio and plan to build around a flexible iteration-based dev model based in trust, creativity, and empathy. It was founded by Epic Games vets such as David Hunt, Michael Nolan, and Ed Zaborist. The round was led by Makers Fund with participation from 1UP Ventures and Apillion. Yahaha have raised a $40 million Series A+. The UGC Games platform had their round led by Temasek and Alibaba. They plan to grow their platform and company, which was founded in 2020, and they raised $50 million in January, so it's a promising start to their journey. The UK-based Landmark Games raised a $4.6 million seed round. The round was led by Project A Ventures and InReach Ventures with participation from existing ventures as well. The funding will go towards expanding their debut title, which is a co-op mobile game called Sea of Souls, and they also plan to build the studio to 20 staff. As far as workforce changes go, Emil Christensen has joined Godsend as a CEO. He's known by many as the former CSGO player Heaton, and he's now a major shareholder and new CEO of the Esports org. He's one of the most notable CSGO players of all time, and was previously the CEO of NIP and a coach for the team as well, so I'll be interested to see where he takes Godsend. Jasmine Ski has been promoted to the CEO of Guild Esports. She was formerly the CMO of Guild Esports and now will be leading the company after Cal Horde has stepped down as his role as CEO. She's worked for Snap before, leading the UK business in telecom and hardware in the past, and she has a bachelor's in sports management from Southern Cross University. Amy Doherty joins Apple doing business development for games. She was most recently the director of business development for Kabam for about 3 years prior to her move, and she also did business development for other tech companies before Kabam. She holds a bachelor's in finance from Cal State Fullerton. Justin Kubayak joins PlayStation to oversee licensing for mobile titles at PlayStation Studios. He was most recently the head of games partnerships for about 1.5 years at Samsung, so he's definitely experienced in gaming. He also has time at NC Soft, Scopely, Disney, and EA for a while, and he has a bachelor's in psychology from UC Berkeley. Jeremy Gorman joins the board of GameSquare Esports. Jeremy has a seasoned career, and she's currently the president of worldwide advertising at Netflix, and she will be an independent director on the board for GameSquare. She was previously the chief business officer at Snap and also worked at Amazon doing large customer sales before, and she holds her bachelor's degree from UCLA. Gordon Hayward joins Beast Coast as an investor and advisor. For reference, he's a popular NBA player who's done collaborations with HyperX as well. He joins with the goal of further deepening the org's connection with his home state of Indiana, and he currently plays for the Charlotte Hornets. Chloe Lara has been promoted to the head of international marketing and comms at HyperX. She's been with HyperX for about 4 years now at this point, most recently serving as the senior marketing manager for Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions. She has done marketing in the past with Kingston as well as Legoland as well, and she has a bachelor's degree in public relations from Bournemouth University. As far as new stuff goes, Pain Gaming have launched their $1.8 million esports facility. This is a 1,500 square meter facility in Sao Paulo that will house all their competitive rosters, management, and host events and watch parties for fans. It has 7 training rooms, other streaming rooms, a kitchen, a dining hall, and more, so it's pretty stocked. Tencent are going to expand Honor of Kings with new games and a film. They announced Honor of Kings Chess along with other titles, RPG, Honor of Kings World, as well as Code Breaking Dawn being announced. They also released a trailer for their film The Brothers Bailey, which is based on the game, and it's interesting to see how they're going to expand this, as we've seen Riot do a lot of successful things in other types of entertainments. Curious to see how this pans out for Tencent in China. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit the publications and authors for the images and information provided. Once again, also a quick shout out to James Fudge for the newsletter he does, as well as People on the Move and just the James Fudge retort. So I appreciate it very much. And if you know someone who find this valuable, please share it with them or tag them down below in the comments. And as always, everybody, have a great week. I will not see you next week, but in a couple weeks afterwards. Take care, everybody.